0.1%.
So we're bringing in Channel 2's Matt Johnson now. And Matt, many numbers in Georgia are improving, but we still need to keep track of this. And we talked about this during our editorial meetings today because we've seen a drop like this before, which is good, only to see a spike several weeks later. And you just heard from an expert on what this might mean for people watching right now at home.
And George, that expert is saying similar things to what the White House task force is saying. Numbers are dropping, but work needs to be done to keep those numbers from increasing again. The expert I talked to is also worried about relatively low testing numbers. Now, meanwhile, Governor Kemp is trying to get ahead of another holiday weekend where he fears people may let their guard down.
Well, I certainly respect the team at the White House. We had a great call with the vice president and the whole team.
It's a White House task force that's making recommendations as Georgia remains one of the states with the highest spread of COVID-19. With new concerns about another holiday weekend leading to a spike in cases, Governor Kemp says he's fine with getting his guidance in-house.
We also have one of the best public health directors in the country in Dr. Toomey, 40-year epidemiologist. We're doing the contact tracing. We know where the hot spots are, and some of the recommendations they've had in the White House report they've had for a long time, but we've moved on past some of those, and we have very successfully for a long time.
The latest White House report from Sunday has Georgia with the 7th highest transmission rate per capita in the country. That's down from last week when Georgia ranked 2nd. Georgia still had nearly double the amount of cases per 100,000 people last week than the national average. The task force isn't recommending a statewide mask mandate anymore, but it does ask Governor Kemp to close bars, gyms, and nightclubs. It also recommends expanding testing to more college campuses.
They're trying to give us guidance, but we're the ones that are having to deal with what's happening on the ground in Georgia, and I think they respect that.
The White House reports are part of private weekly guidance given to governors. They include context, recommendations, and national perspective. A separate House subcommittee on the coronavirus crisis released 8 weeks of reports on Monday to the public.
I think the public should know everything that anybody else knows.
Dr. Richard Rothenberg at Georgia State University says a lack of information may be helping to fuel a rise in cases in Georgia's southern, more rural counties.
The fact that we don't have all of the necessary data in the localities that we require is, I think, one of the things that's really holding us back.
In an August 12th letter, Governor Kemp pointed to summer holidays and, quote, televised protests for why there was a summer surge in cases. The letter was directed at the coronavirus subcommittee that wanted to know why Georgia and 3 other states hadn't followed recommendations. Ahead of Labor Day, Governor Kemp said today he didn't want a repeat of what happened around July 4th.
Make sure you're wearing your mask and socially distance, be respectful of other people, and let's try to avoid that spike.
So Matt's back with us live now. And Matt, question for you. Governor Kemp mentioned protests as a reason for the spike over back in the summer. Any data out there to back that up?
Well, the experts I talked to say it's really hard to prove either way whether or not the protests played a role in a spike in cases. But the experts also said even if they did in Metro Atlanta, it wouldn't explain a surge in cases in other parts of the state where they didn't really see any large protests, George.
All right, Matt Johnson live for us. Thank you so much. And going into the holiday